Hello, hello, my darlings. It is so good to have you all here. It is so good to see you all. I needed to take a couple days break and hang out with my little one and have some fun and make memories. So, I had a great weekend. I hope you all had a good weekend. Yes, that was me sneezing. Bless me, bless me. Thank you, thank you. Yes, that was me sneezing at the beginning. It seems like I have a sneeze going on every time I start the live, and I don't know if that's like a sign or something. I don't know what's going on, but sneezing is definitely the new typing. I'm having issues actually typing because I got to go get my nails shortened, so they're like hitting the keys all incorrectly, but guys, we got some things to talk about because I cannot stand. I think we are all on the same page when we talk about how we hate and despise liars, how we cannot stand people who like to change the narrative all the time and lie and make themselves always out to be a victim when they have always been nothing but an instigator. Now, who am I talking about? Of course, I'm talking about Harry and Meghan Markle and the UK press and the US press, because I see what is going on in US media here, and the entire narrative that Harry and Meghan should be allowed to return back to the royal family. They should be let in. And it's Prince William who is standing in the way. It is Prince William. Well, it could go both ways, an old geezer, right? Yes. I mean, the people are now trying to gaslight us and trying to say that Harry and Meghan should be allowed into the royal family. Harry and Meghan have shown themselves to be nothing but lying scallywags who do nothing but lie to get their way. They have shown that they will lie and use whatever they need, from the deaths of people like school children and tragedies, to garner sympathy. And it's crazy because when you notice and you look at the real world, there are many people that use the Harry and Meghan tactic, as I like to call it. Now, the reason why I call it the Harry and Meghan tactic is because they like to come across as being compassionate, caring individuals who care about people, when in reality they do dirt behind closed doors, hoping that they won't get found out. And then they think that if they rewrite the narrative over and over again, then, we might forget what has happened in the past and go on with their new victim tale. So I shared this link for you guys, and what I'll do is that I'll share this archived link for you guys in the chat here. Let me show you guys right here. There we go. So there's the archived link for this article. Yeah, it is the truth. There are many people that like to pretend like they are victims. They like to use tragedies like Harry and Meghan do. They use tragedies to make themselves appear like they are vulnerable. But at the same time, they are stirring the pot and being messy and dirty. And there's only so much. I feel like when it comes to Prince William, and even some could apply this in their real life too, that sometimes you can only bully a person so much. You can only lie on them so much. You can only keep taunting them and harassing them so much until one time they might just explode and be like, look, this is what's going on. You're the problem. They never take accountability. You're right, Christine. You're definitely right. They're trying to put it on William's shoulders. And the one thing that grossed me out, because number one, I don't know if you guys know about Tessa Dunlop, okay? Tessa Dunlop She's not a big fan of mine because she doesn't like the fact that I put the real truth into her face. And that's an issue that a lot of people have with myself here, with my channel, that, oh, Megan's Mole always comes with the receipts and will show proof. And she will show the full proof and not just screenshots or snippets to, create her own narrative, right? So let me talk to you about Tessa Dunlop, because Tessa Dunlop wrote this article that I'm going to read to you guys, and we're going to discuss it. But first of all, let me give you a little heads up about Tessa Dunlop, a little background, mind you. So Tessa Dunlop is a reporter, as she likes to call herself, a journalist. She likes to call herself Dr. Tessa Dunlop, I think. And anyways, so basically, Tessa Dunlop got up mad at me and blocked me on X and called me disgusting because I called her for what she is. A pedo groomer who thinks that Prince William should welcome Harry back with open arms. And many of you are probably asking me, Mole, why would you say that about Tessa Dunlop? Why would you say that? Well, if you guys didn't know, Tessa Dunlop wrote a book. Let me grab the book. It's sitting right beside me on my desk here. Hold on. Those are my other books. That's my other book. Let me grab this one. Here we go. Okay. So Tessa Dunlop wrote a book. Let me show you guys. I posted a photo of it here. It's called To Romania with Love. Now, I think this should have been a diary writing, a personal diary that Tessa should have kept to herself and never released it. But within this book, you can't find it anywhere anymore. She's made sure that you cannot buy it. You cannot get it on Amazon anymore. You cannot get your hands on it. And for me to find this book was crazy. Like, I had to go through hoops, and I had to basically sneezing has now just been replaced by book slamming. You guys are hilarious here. But Tessa, in this book that she wrote about how when she was 20 or so, she would go to Romania from younger age, and she would go to Romania and teach these younger children how to speak English. Now, Tessa, in her big grown age of being in her 20s, she writes about how during an afternoon before she was supposed to teach a class, she was sitting in the back room drinking plum brandy with one of her students. And her student was the older brother of another student that she was teaching English. And what had happened is that Tessa ended up falling in love with this 12-year-old student. Yes, 12 years old. Now, let me ask you, if people like Philip Schofield and Hugh Edwards have been kicked off of the air for this type of behavior, such as grooming, shouldn't Tessa as well? I mean, we've seen Tessa's horrible behavior online, and yet she thinks that she can give advice and say that, you know what, William, you should let in these disgusting slurs into your family because you know what? I'm a disgusting slur also, Tessa would say. So you always think about how like always attracts like. Tessa is a disgusting slur. Of course, she's going to give, credence to what Harry and Meghan want. Hold on a second. I just got a cough here. Apologies, my friends. And Tessa wrote about how she basically took this young child that he didn't even want to go. Yeah, 100% Mary Kay Letourneau vibes, 100%. But Tessa took this young child. She ended up sleeping with him when he was 14. She took him from his country, from his family, from his mother. His mother didn't even want him to go, and took him to the UK, where then she made him assimilate into her life and how she wanted to live her life. This whole book that you read was all about Tessa wanted. I got not only, pedo vibes, let's just say, but I also get the vibes that Tessa is a narcissist who only gives a shit about her own feelings, and what she wanted. That's it. Macron's husband vibes too. Yeah. Any man who does this you would get canceled. Like I said, Philip Schofield got canceled, and the guy was the same age. They just worked together, right? Or he knew the child from a young age, so he basically groomed her. I remember Tessa should have been off the air when she pulled this moment. Let me share this with you guys, because you guys know I always come with receipts, and then I will read this ridiculous, disgusting article that Tessa wrote, completely gaslighting us into, oh, we should be okay with Harry's bad behavior and they should let him in. But watch this, darlings.
You know why they've all got their fingers in the fossils. Do you believe we had to? The likes of Jacob Rees-Mogg is overseeing the opening of a coal mine. No wonder Phoebe's throwing super around. These kids are desperate.
All right, as we have.
But do you believe? Should we obey them?
Don't touch me.
Well, sorry for distracting.
That was not enough.
The thing is, this man should have sued her for assault. That was assault right there. Had the roles been reversed, let's say the man did that to Tessa, do you think that Tessa wouldn't have blown her lid and made it worse than what it was? This man literally told you, don't touch me, and you're still putting your hands on him. It's crazy. And this is who Tessa is.
I'm really sorry.
Nolly May Tangeray, thank you to both of my panelists, getting a little...
Assault.
You know why they've all got their fingers in the fossils.
Do you believe we had to?
The likes of Jacob Rees-Mogg is overseeing the opening of a coal mine. No wonder Phoebe's throwing super around. These kids are desperate.
All right, as we have. Do you believe? Should we obey them? Don't touch me.
Her voice reminds me of a person who smokes like a couple packs of cigarettes a day. Could you imagine listening to that voice at home all day long? Yikes, I could not deal with that. I'm sorry, but I could not. So this was Tessa. Tessa is the person who wrote this article. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of heads up so you know what we are talking about. So let me read this to you, my darlings. Let me get into this, and make sure you hit the like button, my lovelies. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you are, always telling the truth and being an honorable person regardless what is going on. So let me get into this ridiculous article, because Tessa writes, from Prince Harry's point of view, it was only a matter of time. He had to clear the decks and eliminate several outstanding legal obstacles before he addressed the thorny issue of a royal reconciliation. The Duke said as much in an interview in the BBC immediately after his failed appeal in the High Court against the Home Office. Most of us would have been preoccupied with the small matter of a £1.5 million legal bill. But not Harry. His befuddled thinking exposed a longing for improved royal relations at the same time as he swung once more for his paw. Apparently, Charles was part of the good old-fashioned establishment stitch-up that saw Harry lose his security case. I mean, grow up, man. You're 40 years old, and pick your struggle. Is you want to make up with your family, or are they part of this so-called stitch-up that is going on within the family? And you, this little stitch-up that is going on, you still want to join the family? That doesn't make sense, does it? Omakla says, what the freak? He disrespected his brother. He disrespected his sister-in-law. He killed his grandmother. He killed his grandfather. And his wife is petite to be pregnant. Again, now we good. Oh, dear. I mean, Charles should have got the clues from when Harry wrote in Spare, and I will never forget reading this, was when Harry said that he controlled the Typhoon fighter jet to take out his father, only to spare him at the last few moments, to go on and obliterate a shed. Had my son or my child written, I'm sorry, I'm not talking to you. I don't care if I'm the king or not. That's treasonous. Anyone back in the day, had they uttered those kinds of threats towards a monarch, it would have been off with their heads. But not Harry. Harry is still being coddled at the ripe old age of 40, which is why he doesn't understand that actions have consequences. No one has ever stuck up to his nonsense and BS. It's like having a relationship with an abusive person who makes up lies about you, constantly defaming you, constantly talking nonsense about you. And then the one time you turn around to stick up for yourself, to be like, no, actually, this is what's going on, then you're the terrible person. That is an abusive relationship. And that is the relationship that the royal family are in with Harry and Meghan at the moment, where they have done nothing but tell lie after lie after lie about the royals, and the royals have just taken it. I mean, at one point you should just like be like, okay, this is ridiculous. We all know the truth. Like, you need to stick up for yourself. Being quiet and giving the children titles when you don't even know they exist, where you don't even know where they came from. Clearly they weren't legitimately from Meghan's body, right? Charles does deserve Harry. Definitely. Definitely. 100%. 7 years of this crap. I mean, okay, let me compare it to this because I was thinking about this morning. I've been going through 2 weeks of nonsense on YouTube with drama, with lies about me being told, with no proof, of course, right? Just trust my words, bro. And I'm at the point where I'm just like, oh my God, like go away. Like get over it. Like, go make up your lies about someone else and act like a victim to someone else. Go away. And now I understand what the royal family have been going through. Like, the royal family have been dealing with 7 years of this on an international, worldwide scale. And if I can't stand handling bullshit and drama and, yeah, soul suckers basically for like 2 weeks on YouTube, I just can't imagine what William and Catherine have been going through. And then they're being made out to be like they are the bad people who should allow Harry back in. You don't let a snake back into the house when they've shown you that they are a snake. You have to have thick skin, 100%. You have to have thick skin to be able to handle so much lies and nonsense being told on you and not to respond, right? Not always acting like they're like Harry and Meghan, always acting like the victims. Always acting like the victims. We know that there are people that always act like they're victims, but always stir it up in the drama, or always complaining about something, or always nag. Like, hello? The world, people have problems in the world. I mean, get over it. But you have shown your true colors. And the one thing I always say is that I will always give Meghan Markle the credit and the round of applause. See, the round of applause to Meghan Markle for exposing the real Harry to the world, for showing us that he is not a fun-loving, happy-go-lucky prince. And basically, hold on a second. We got some drama coming in here. You're unforgivable, going on a sugar troll channel and attacking Fiona. Just disgusting. You know that Fiona does the same, right? Going on a trolls channel and attacking people, talking all kinds of shit. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander, darling. Just saying. But anyways, let me get back to the topic. See, Harry and Meghan, I could just say that they are exactly like this situation right here. 100%, where they always want to play the victims. They always want to pretend like they are not doing anything behind the scenes, and yet they truly are. So let me continue on with this article, because I don't know if Tessa fell and bumped her head or if she had one too many drinks when she wrote this. But let me continue on here. So the prince derided the king for having a lot of control and ability in his hands, but nothing to support him. No wonder Charles steered well of Harry last May when the latter, in London for Invictus's 10th anniversary, was not invited for tea at the palace. Well, why would you? Why would you invite someone who runs to the media the minute they get to act like a victim? Why would you allow them in there? I wouldn't. You'd be crazy to do that. Charles, then a newish king, ducked a face-to-face haranguing from the Duke of Sussex, who subsequently concluded his father wouldn't speak to him because of this security stuff, but it would be nice to reconcile. The context explains the recent peace summit papped on the royal papped on the balcony of an exclusive London club involving key players from both royal parties, including Meredith Mains, a communications officer for the Sussex household, who is in London to work contacts on their behalf. Now, let me. This is what drives me nuts because, like I said, I hate liars. I cannot stand them. Let me just remind you all, and I'll come back to this article. But let me just show you guys the words of Harry, because this is just like rewriting narratives. You think that just because you don't remember it because you were drunk or drug addled, we remember it. Let me show you this.
I wish that you weren't a prince.
Here.
I wish that you weren't a prince.
I wish that quite a lot, actually.
I wish that you weren't a prince.
I wish that quite a lot, actually.
I wish that you weren't a prince.
I wish that quite a lot, actually.
I wish that you weren't a prince.
The next one.
You know, it's something I'd love to do, and now I've had the chance once. I suppose I've got quite into it. And at the end of the day, if you join the army, you expect to go on operations. I don't want to sit around at Windsor because I just generally don't like England that much, and it's nice to be away from all the press and the papers and the general shite that they write.
Home for me now is for the time being, it's in the States, and it feels that way as well.
Does it?
Yeah, we've been welcomed with open arms, and it's got such a great community up in Santa Barbara. So
you feel like that's home more for you?
Yeah.
Is that weird to say?
No, but I'm sure it'll become a thing.
It's something I'd love to do, and
See, I always come with the receipts. I will always show you that what Harry has said, his words will come back to bite him, okay? I always come with the full, the full piece, right? The full film, the full footage, as opposed to a snippet or something. And hold on a second. An old geezer has gifted 5 MeghansMole memberships. Thank you, an old geezer. Yay! Thank you. To all of those that received a gift from an old geezer, make sure you say thank you to him. That's very kind of you and so generous of you, my darling. Thank you. Let me show you all here just another one of his moments, like that he doesn't care that Santa Barbara is home to him. And for my moderators, my darlings, all the links are in the description box below. Don't worry about going and grabbing them, Katie. I know you like to look for them. And yeah, Harry is a ding-dong. Harry truly is a ding-dong. Let me show you another one here.
Santa Barbara feels like home. Brought up both of our kids in Santa Barbara. I think left the UK when my son Archie was about 6 months old, and Lily, my daughter, was born here. What do I miss the most? Being British. Maybe I'm not going to say the weather.
He's such a prick.
But I don't know. I think look, there's lots of little bits and pieces that I miss. I guess the countryside is a big piece to that, and one of the reasons why we live in Santa Barbara. I'm not really a city person. I like to be out in space with a big sky above me.
Of course you like to be out in space. You're probably out in space all day long with your pass the duchy to the left-hand side, pass the duchy to the left-hand side. Of course you're in space, you dingbat.
But no, you know what? Life takes extraordinary turns. And we are, as a family, we're so happy here. The US provides so much opportunity, and also a safe space for us, which has been great.
Finally,
wanker, absolute wanker, truly a wanker. Okay, truly a wanker. Let me go back to Tessa's ridiculous article. So it says that that Meredith Mains also happens to be the same woman who set up Harry's BBC interview in May. Yeah, that horrific interview where, it's an establishment stitch up, but I expect them to protect me. I cannot, Harry, you idiot. You're claiming your family is out to get you, but you're expecting them to also protect you? It's wild, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy. Thank you, Beth, my darling, for the super sticker. Thank you, sweetheart. That's very kind of you. Thank you. So Tessa continues on by saying that, please note that the prince has dropped demands for an apology and makes no pretense of missing aspects of royal life, the crazy palace meals, key members of his family, and Britain more generally. So if he doesn't want all that, then why is he wanting to, reconcile with his family so much? Meanwhile, exactly what he does remains open. Despite his best efforts, Harry has failed to shed his royal skin because he's still cosplaying it. Duh. A snide article in Vanity Fair earlier this year pointed out that the Duke has the world's greatest manners and comes across as the sort of bloke who would happily work for charities for the rest of his life and would be very happy if Meghan made all the money. Once a royal, always a royal. Fortunately, Meghan's as ever brand is Harry's new equivalent of a sovereign grant. The Duchess's success, love or loathe her, Meghan enjoys traction, frees him up to build British bridges. It helps that the Sussex's commercial tanks are no longer parked on the royal lawn. Petal sprinkles, raspberry jam, and emotive podcasts are a welcome anodyne replacement for earlier relentless attacks against Britain's monarchy. Now, that paragraph right there sounds so dumb because Harry, like Tessa's trying to say that Harry now looks at Meghan's as Everbrand as the sovereign grant, like his own pocket that he can go and pull money out of and use whenever he wants. So basically, Tessa is painting Harry as Meghan's little cuckold bitch. That's what she is doing. She is definitely like, I don't know what Tessa is. I don't know if she's in the group chat, in the WhatsApp chat, but basically they are putting it on the shoulders of Prince William that he should be the one who lets in Harry and Meghan back into the family. She thinks that, oh, William is the one who is standing in the way. Now, look, I wanted to read the rest of this article to you guys, but it is so full of nonsense and such BS that I just can't. I can't keep reading this drivel out to you guys because it is absolute garbage in my opinion. Now, here's the thing. Harry doesn't care about any of these charities. What has he done except cost them money to come over and make a visit to them? Nothing. Nothing at all. But let me show you the words of Harry because I'm getting tired. I know that the royal family are on their summer holidays right now. There's not much to write about them in the media, so they're making up nonsense. They're claiming that Charles has fallen out with a whole bunch of gardeners and are painting him out to be a micromanaging tyrant just like Meghan. There are videos of how, let me show you what Charles did recently, and it's not a good look because with the reputation that Charles has at the moment, it's not so great. Okay, Charles has never had a good reputation, but doing things like this and doesn't make it any better. Let me show it to you guys here. Radio Genoa shared this the other day where King Charles inaugurates an Islamic center, praises Muslims, and calls on British citizens to greater understanding of the Islamic world. It seems like it's a joke, but it's a not. Let me play this for you guys. Get your barf buckets ready. Get a pillow ready if you need to punch into it. The Queen Elizabeth is rolling in her grave because isn't this guy supposed to be the head of the Church of England?
Assalamu alaikum.
Ooh.
In this milestone anniversary year, I can only say that it is with enormous pride and admiration that I join you all here today to pay tribute to this remarkable centre as it celebrates 4 decades
We got
of
King Charles in
unfailing
the
work
chat.
to broaden our understanding of the Islamic world and in the United Kingdom.
This is, what's crazy is that you never will catch, like Charles wants Muslims to be allowed within the Christian faith and stuff, right? But ask yourself this. Have you ever seen a Christian be welcomed into a mosque and start to sing their religion and say their words? Nope, never. Not at all. Not at all. Not one bit. I'm telling you, folks, like, if you don't fight back, like, just take a look at countries like Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, a lot of those countries, Syria, even. Just take a look back before all of like this Islamic nonsense just was seeped into them. They were living a good life. The women were happy, the women were free. And now they're all wearing burqas, getting stoned to death if they don't listen to what their husband says to them. It is disgusting. It is absolutely foul. I don't know if Charles is trying to destroy the monarchy for William and make it be like the last one for him, but I'm sorry. This is like, what are you doing? I know I posted this and some people got upset that I posted this photo, but it's a reality. My wife stones me. I bet your wife does more than just stones you. Sorry, my darlings. But yeah, people need to fight back against that. But at the end of the day, let me just revert back to Harry for a second because traitors. Harry is a traitor just like what Charles seems to be doing right now, also by being a traitor. Here's another one of what Harry has said in his own words, mind you.
Taking on the press and the risk of such retaliation from them by taking these claims forward, it's clearly not in my interest to do that. Look at what has happened in the last 4 years to me, my wife, and my family, right? So that was a very hard decision for me to make, which is how bad is it going to get?
Some people would say that you know, you taking on these high profile battles, but that actually attracts more attention onto you.
There is more than enough attention on me and my wife anyway. They pushed me too far. It got to a point where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Harry is so dumb. Just look at his eyeballs here, darlings. Look at how pinpricked his eyeballs are here. Like, I want to know what substances he was on when he did this interview. His eyes are like freaking pinpricks. They're tiny. And you want to talk about your family being in danger? Let's talk about all the danger you brought onto William and his family, especially when Catherine was dealing with her cancer diagnosis. What about that? What about the fact that now, because of you, we all know that William's wiener is circumcised? We didn't know that. Harry doesn't realize that the calls are coming from inside because he is being manipulated by his wife. The drugs have taken over his brains. The calls are coming from inside. And to be honest, this whole thing about reconciling with him, I would never trust him because I've said this before in a video that I made a long time ago, but I wouldn't be surprised if Harry and Meghan pulled a Trojan horse. And what do I mean by that? I mean the fact that Harry will pretend that he is going to separate from Meghan. He wants nothing to do with Meghan, will beg his family to, let me back into the family. I have nothing to do with her. Then when he gets 1 foot into the family, oh, guess what? Him and Meghan are going to reconcile. And now the royal family have to be okay with this because they've accepted him back into the family. This is like, if I can see this from a mile away, I'm sure others can see this also. Meghan is constantly manipulating things from behind the scenes. Yes, it is very easy to manipulate a single-digit IQ brain. You are totally right. This guy is a moron. He's always had issues with substances. He says himself he doesn't miss anyone back home. And why do you want to let this person in?
Santa Barbara feels like home. Brought up both of our kids in Santa Barbara. I think left the UK when my son Archie was about 6 months old. And Lily.
Like, let me just fast forward it here to where we were.
But no, you know what? Life takes extraordinary turns, and we are, as a family, we're so happy here. The US provides so much opportunity and also a safe space for us, which has been great.
Finally,
Then become a U.S. citizen has definitely become a U.S. citizen. I at the end of the day, this is totally my opinion. But if Charles does allow Harry to come back in a royal capacity, that's it. I'm sorry. Like, I've already thought of you as a weak little wanker who should probably stick to, your gardens in Highgrove. You want to grow potatoes and like be amongst your bees and your honey. Go and do that. Part of me always wishes, why couldn't Anne become queen instead? We would have had so many less problems. But this is what happens when you allow liars and tyrants to run the narrative. This is what happens when you allow people to continue on with lies and lies and lies about you and not saying anything in return. Can we all say abdicate, please? Yeah, definitely abdicate, right? Prince Harry wants the adoration. He wants the attention, but he doesn't want to do any of the work. He's a lazy effing grifter, just like Meghan. Bill Simmons said it the best. Lazy effing grifter. Now, personally, myself, I don't believe any of these reconciliation stories because, like I said, the royals are on summer break. The media needs something. And the media is pissed off because William has shut them out. Catherine now takes the photos for their children and they release it through their Instagram accounts or their Twitter accounts. No one gets to monetize their children and make money off of them. Remember when photographers were pissed that Catherine was taking photos of her own children and releasing? Go away. Those are her kids. She can do whatever she wants. It's her control. And the media is pissed off that William has actually shut them out, that they get nothing from him. They are mad. That's why they want to paint William like he is the problem. William's not the problem. William knows who the problems are. William can see through the nonsense. And not a day goes by that I don't wish and hope that William gets to the throne. Well, I hate to say sooner than later. I mean, I don't wish any harm on Charles, but it seems like the more that Charles is on the throne, the more problems there's going to be. I mean, look at this man. This is the Lion of Windsor. This is the man who's going to hopefully get things back on track, live out the monarchy's rule like what Queen Elizabeth would have wanted, and not the woke nonsense that Charles is doing right now. That's just my opinion. But then I'm going to get going, my darlings, because I know that Michelle is doing a live in about half an hour on her channel. And I got to send a huge shout out to her because thanks to her, she did move her live over by an hour so that I could be there and join with you guys because I was worried about it overlapping and I do want to be there. But did you guys notice the lipstick on this guy? Like, what's with the heavy lipstick on him? Or his lips just really pink? But anyways. Anyways, my darlings, I'm going to get out of here. I wanted to say thank you to all of you guys for all of the love and support through all of this nonsense and BS and drama and shenanigans going on. You guys know for a fact that everything that this degenerate who lives on a boat is throwing at me is not true. There's no proof. Showing snippets or playing snippets of me going and talking on someone else's channel, that's none of your business. I've never had anything to do with her husband. I didn't know her husband. When her husband passed away, I sent over condolences despite all the horrific things she said. But it's so interesting watching someone spiral out when you tell them to be accountable for their own words and their actions when they were shit-faced drunk and they were blurting it out like diarrhea of the mouth. Interesting how that happens, right? But anyways, darlings, I'm a strong girl. I don't need to pull in others to bully people. I don't tell my subscribers to write nasty messages or emails to anyone. I can handle my own fight. I'm a big girl. I wear some nice panties and I can deal with it, okay? Anyways, my darlings, I hope to see you all in about half an hour at Michelle's chat. I love you all so much. You guys are the greatest. You guys mean the world to me, truly. And let me just say a couple more thank yous to Private Notes here for the super sticker and Kids Irrelevant. Thank you, my darling. Says, great job, Molly. Yeah, I'm out too if KC3 lets the grifters back in. I think many of us feel the same ways. But let me see. Did I miss anything? No, I think I got everything. Anyways, my loves, I will catch you all in the next one. Toodaloo. Bye.